Welcome to the video. Today I'm going to show you how to add aftermarket parts to your add-on GTA 5 vehicle. Before you start watching, I recommend that you watch through the tutorial without actually doing anything to begin with and then watch it again and follow along. This way you can get a proper idea of each step in the process. I'll be using the vehicle add-on I made in the add-on vehicle tutorial as a base to add the aftermarket parts to. I'll leave a link to the add-on vehicle tutorial if you need it. Okay, so first things first, I have the Oracle in ZModeler. We're going to make a tuning part. So I'm going to go inside the Oracle, inside the chassis. I'm going to find the front bumper. I'm going to right click, edit, and create copy. So now that copy appears at the bottom. I'm going to right click, link, and then unlink this one. And then we'll turn off the Oracle because we don't need to see it for now. And then what I'm going to go and do is go to display, local axis. I'm going to go to this little arrow up here. I'm going to turn off keep object. I'm going to click on reset the parent, which in this case is just the world, and then left click on the object to reset it to world. I'll also turn the grid on as well so you can see it. Okay, so we should make a change to this front bumper so we know that it's a tuning part, so we can tell that it's a tuning part. So I'm going to remove the front plate. And I'm also going to set the vertex paint as well on this front piece because there's vertex paint there from when the plate was there to make it look like it's darker behind. So we'll do that. Let me just go to front view. I want to remove the vertex paint on the entire thing just in case it has some vertex paint. I don't know about AO wise. Doesn't need to be perfect, just needs to be sort of close. Okay, that'll do. Now we'll go to surface, paint, we'll go to our channel, and then we will paint this in white. Just so it looks okay in game. That's the only change we're going to make to this one. Just for the sake of time. But you know, you can basically do whatever you want as an aftermarket part. This is just an example. It's pretty much the same process for every single part. I will, however, explain how modcols work. So, yeah. Okay, so we've got our part now. It's got no front plate. We will also make this secondary color just because we can. Paint 1. And then we will replace it with paint 2. Like so. Okay. Now we need to do the same thing for the LODs. So what I'm going to do for this is dismiss the entire object. We've got L0, L1, and L2. You don't need L3 on tuning parts. And then we'll make the same changes to the LODs that we did with L0. Like so. And then we'll rename the main dummy. I'm going to name this to Oracle C underscore bum underscore F. Sorry, underscore F underscore 1. Or you can do just bum F as one word and then underscore 1. Doesn't really matter. The only thing this determines is whether you'll have to, you know, so it's just whatever model name you'll put into your carcols.meta when the time comes. And then we will turn off L0, convert this to a compound, hit the lock icon, turn on L0, and then we'll drag and drop each LOD. So first starting with the top, which was L0, then L1, and then L2 finally. And the reason why you reset these parts to world is because carcols.meta will actually take care of attaching the bumper to the point to the other bumper bone, the base bumper bone, and then that will make it hang properly and everything. It also is like this for damage purposes as well. If you have this in place when exporting it, your damage will be your deformation will be messed up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab the dummy for Oracle C, and we're going to rename it to the same thing. And I'm going to add _ng to my compounded part, and then I'm going to drag it and drop it inside. So now we've got our Modkit part. Then what we'll do is we will hit export, and then you'll export it as whatever the name of the bone is. So in this case, Oracle C bumf_1, and then export. That's exported now. Now we'll go to OpenIV. We're inside the Oracle C add-on, or whatever add-on you have created for yourself. First things first, we're going to go to DLC RPF times 64 vehicle mods, Oracle C mods.rpf, and then we'll go to File Explorer. We'll go to the export folder for the Oracle, and we will drag and drop Oracle C bumf1.yft into the vehicle mods.rpf. You have to make sure edit mode is on, otherwise you won't be able to drag the part. And we can see in here, there the part is. It's got its LODs as well. Now we need to define this in carcols.meta. So I'm going to copy this name, DLC RPF, data, carcols.meta, and then edit it. And in the part that we made in the last tutorial for setting up your add-on, I just did a dummy part which would turn off the front bumper. But we're going to get rid of the null. I'm going to replace it with our model name. We're also going to change the mod shop label. So I'm going to change this to Oracle C F1, all in caps. I did Control Shift U to make that uppercase. We still want to turn off the bumper F bone. The category is still bumper F, so that's fine. Bone is bumper F, that's all good. And the collision bone is bumper F as well. There are other things as well. Camera position I don't tend to edit. I don't know what audio applied does, but the weight will just add extra weight to your stats per se. Turn off extra. This works basically as a toggle, and when it's set to false, any extras mentioned in here won't turn off. But when set to true, any extras mentioned in the turn off bone sections will turn off with this part. Disable bonnet camera. When set to true, will stop you from being able to pick the bonnet camera. For example, if you add a supercharger to your engine and it sticks out the bonnet, you don't want to be able to slide across, otherwise you'll clip through the supercharger. So you can disable that. And it's the same with the bonnet slides as well. You just don't want them to be... You just don't want the camera or your character to clip through them. And that is that. So we're going to take this name and save it. Then we will go to the add-on, and then we'll open this with Notepad. And we're going to change Oracle test to this, and then we'll make that uppercase. I think that's correct. Let's just double check. And then we'll change this from a remove front bumper to secondary color front bumper. I'll just do secondary color without plate. I've saved that, and then we will go DLC RPF times 64 data language American DLC, and we will drag and drop the OXT file like so. And that is that part set up, basically. So we'll test this in game and see if it works. Okay, so let's spawn the car in. And then we'll check the front bumper section for our new front bumper. So it's secondary color without plate. Like so. So if we now go to paint and change the secondary color, it will change it. And then if we switch it back to stock, it'll change back to stock. So that is how to create a front bumper mod kit part. Now I'm going to explain how mod calls work. So here we have the Sultan RS Wing 13 that I'm going to put onto the Oracle. First thing we need to do though is go into the Oracle and go to the boot lid and find the mod call that I've added. Now you'll see that mod collisions exist on a lot of GTA cars. For custom cars that you make, you'll have to add them yourself, like I've done with this. So this is an example mod collision. Basically, when a mod is applied and it's referencing a mod collision, the mod collision will turn on, and it will be collidable in game. So what we want to do is turn on my wing, and then I'm going to bring it to the location of the mod collision using copy local axis and keep object turned off. I'm going to click on the collision and then click on my spoiler. I'm just going to set the position of the wing so it's where I want it to be. I'm going to dismiss this as well so we have all the LODs to edit. And then I'll also bring this down as well. And I'll also turn on the boot lid so I can see what needs to be done with this. Hide the mod call so I can see what this is doing. Okay, so that fits about as well as I want it to fit for the purposes of this tutorial. And I'll also edit the mod collision a little bit so it's a bit more accurate. Like so. Okay, so that's set up. I'm going to rename this to Oracle C Wing 1. And then I'll turn off the collision level of detail and L0 as well. Convert this to compound, lock it, turn on L0 and then drag and drop for each LOD. Then we'll reset this to world, like so. So first I'm going to export the Oracle itself because it has a new mod collision now. You can only reference a mod collision that's there, so makes sense. One thing to note about mod collisions is that if you have a lot of them on your car, and for example there are loads of them on the roof or there are really large spoilers, they will affect how your camera, how far away your camera is in game and the height of it as well. That's just automatically taken care of by the game engine. But if you don't want it to be too high, then you should definitely keep an eye on the mod collisions to make sure there aren't too many or they aren't too high, for example. Okay, now we'll go to mods, update RPF to DLC packs, and then we'll go to, sorry, not update RPF, update times 64 DLC packs, my bad. Then we'll go to the Oracle C, and we'll go to vehicles.rpf, and we will drag and drop the new Oracle C model. So you'll see the size increase a little bit. And if we jump in here and switch to bounds, you'll see that the spoiler is now here. The red here means a chassis void, which means you'll be able to shoot through this, but you'll also be able to collide with it if you're a ped and or an object. I'm going to time 64, vehicle mods, Oracle C mods.rpf, and we will export the spoiler, Oracle C wing 1. That's all exported. And then we will drag and drop that new part into the mods.rpf. Like so. Then we'll copy the name of it. You can see it's in here. All its LODs. We'll go back to dlc.rpf, data, and carcols.meta. Now I usually paste the name of the model like under here by visible mods, just so I can come back and get it. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy this entire part from item to item, and then leave a little bit of a gap and then paste it underneath. I'm going to copy or cut this with Control X. I'm going to paste it in the model name section and also in the mod shop label section. I'm going to make it caps as well. For turn off bones, we don't want to turn off any bones, so I'm going to delete the turn off bones section. Just the ending tag here, the item bumper F. We leave the start of it, but we add a space between the arrow right and the S, and then add a slash. And that basically deactivates that. For this, we'll set the type to vmt_spoiler. Now there are a huge list of these categories, and you can find them on I'm Not Mental's website. I'll leave a link in the description for that. And the bone we're going to set to boot. Collision bone, this will be mod_col_1. So we're referencing the dummy inside the boot. So this one here. And then the game is like, oh, okay. And then it'll activate the collision when the part is applied. So we'll save that. We'll spawn the Oracle in. Now if we reverse this against the wall, we should see, you can just go, we hit it like normal. But if we apply our new spoiler, I forgot to do the name, but that's okay. We should see that the spoiler hits the wall before the car does. You see? Like so. And we can also check to see whether the spoiler opens with the boot properly, which it does. And the mod col will also move with the boot as well, since the mod col is inside the boot. Anyway, I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Like and subscribe if you want.